konnichiwa, jamudyas, and welcome to Hikari Online Class. For today's lesson ay pag-aaralan natin ang lesson 14 ng ating grammar discussion. Are you ready? Dewa hajimemashou. Okay, so our first topic here is the verb conjugation. So, verbs in Japanese change their forms. For example, they conjugated or they are divided into 3 groups according to the type of conjugation. So, nag-iiba ang mga verb in Japanese in forms. Okay? So, they are divided into 3 groups. So, depending on the following phrases, you can make sentence with various meanings. So, depende kung anong form siya, makakagawa ka ng iba't ibang meaning sa isang sentence. So, here are the verb groups. Okay? So, as I said, they are divided or they are categorized in 3 groups. So, let's start from the first one. This is the group 1. Okay? So, in the verb of this group, the last sound of the verb stem is that of the E line. Kita mo sa E line natin, like E, chi, ri, bi, mi, ni, ki, gi, and she. Okay? For example here, I must. So, when we have the verb stem, you omit the must, so I. So, that means I must is belong to group 1. Mochimasu, mochi. So, since it is chi, so, then, ri, wakarimasu, wakarimasu. Next, bi, yobimasu, yobimasu. Next, mi, nomimasu, nomimasu. Then, shinimasu, shinimasu. Kakimasu, kakimasu. Isogimasu, isogimasu. And hanashimasu. Okay? So, all of the verb stem that ends with this line are belong to the group 1. Okay, so are belong to the group 1. Next, group 2 verbs. In the most of the verbs of this group, the last sound of the verb stem is that of the e line. Okay? So yung mga verb na end ng verb stem nila as e sound like oshemasu, nisemasu, sutemasu, tabemasu, and iremasu. Okay? So, all of these words are end with the e line. Okay? So, yung mga verb stem nila ay nasa e line. So, that would be belong to the group 2 verbs. So, aside from those verb stem that ends with e line, group 2 also has a special verbs. Okay? But in some of these verbs, the last sound of that is on the E line. Okay? So, although nasa E line yung mga last nito, but they are special in group 2. Just like imasu, mimasu, kimasu, ikemasu, dikemasu, ukimasu, urimasu, karimasu, tarimasu, ochimasu, abimasu, tojimasu, kinjimasu, and kanjimasu. Okay, it's very important that you memorize this group 2 special. Okay, again, let's read it. Imasu, mimasu, kimasu, ikemasu, dikemasu, ukimasu, orimasu, karimasu, tarimasu, ochimasu, abimasu, tojimasu, kanjimasu, and kanjimasu. Okay? Okay? So that is in our group 2. So aside from those verb stem that end with the A line, so you must be very careful to remember these group 2 special verbs. Okay? And last, the third group is verbs of this group include shimasu and noun denoting an action plus shimasu as well as kimasu. Okay, so there are only 2 verbs here. So shimasu and kimasu. Okay, so as I said, you can put shimasu to the noun denoting an action, just like sports or work. For example, benkyo shimasu. Benkyo is study. To make it a verb, so you just add shimasu. So that makes benkyo shimasu. Okay, another one, shigoto shimasu. Shigoto shimasu. Shokuji shimasu. Shokuji shimasu. Motte kimasu. Motte kimasu. Okay, so since you already know the different group of verbs from 1, 2, and 3, now let's go to the verb te form. Okay, so this is the first conjugation that we will gonna have, the verb te form. So the verb form which ends with te or de is called the te form. So makikita nyo yung mga words or verb na nag-e-end sa te or de that are called te form. And how to make the te form of a verb depends on which group the verb belongs to. So kung paano mo gagawin or i-conjugate ang te form, magdedepende siya kung saang group siya na belong. So it's very important that you memorize the rules in group 1, 2, and 3. Okay? So let's start from group 1. Okay? So I said, group 1 are those verb stems that end with E sound or in the E line, just like these words. Okay? So first step is to omit must. Okay? So gagawin natin siyang verb stem by simply omitting the must. Okay? Tatanggalin mo si must. At yung natitira, if the last syllable of the verb ends with E, chi, ri, you change that into small 2 and then te. Again, if the last syllable of the verb stem ends with E, chi, and ri, so you change that into small 2 and then te. For example, the word I must, so you omit the must. The verb stem is I. You change I into chisai 2. So that makes the word atte. Okay? Atte. Next, muchimasu. Omit the must, change chi to chisai 2, then te, so that would be, okay, mochimasu becomes motte. Motte. And last, the ri, okay, torimasu. Torimasu becomes totte. Totte. Okay? The next here is that if the syllables end with B, mi, ni. Okay, again, if the syllables end with B, mi, ni, you change that into de. Okay? De. For example, yobimasu. Yobimasu. So simply omit the mas, change B to ND, so that makes the yobimasu becomes yonde. Yonde. Okay, next, mi. Okay, nomimasu. Nomimasu becomes nonde. Nonde. Okay, and ni. For example, shinimasu. Shinimasu becomes shinde. Shinde. Okay? So that is, again, yobimasu becomes yonde. Nomimasu becomes nonde. And shinimasu becomes shinde. Okay? Next, if the syllable end with ki, so you change ki to ite. Okay? You change ki into ite. For example, the word or the verb is kakimasu. Kakimasu becomes kaite. Kaite. Okay? So you omit mas, you change ki into ite. So that makes the kakimasu becomes kaite. Next, if the syllable of the verb stem ends with gi, okay? Ends with gi, so you change gi into ide. Okay? Ide. For example, our word here is isogimasu. Okay, so you omit mas, you change gi to ide. That makes the word isogimasu becomes isoide. Isoide. Okay, and next is she. Okay, when the words ends with she, so you just make it or change it to shite. For example, hanashimasu. Hanashimasu. Omit the mas, change she to shite. That makes the hanashimasu becomes hanashite. Okay? And last is ikimasu. Okay? Ikimasu is special. So although it's end with ki, we will gonna and the last one would be ikimasu. Okay, so ikimasu is special, although that it ends with ki in the verb stem, but we will gonna follow the chisai to te. That makes that ikimasu becomes ite. Okay, remember that one. So now let's review from I must. Okay, I must becomes atte. Muchimasu becomes motte. Torimasu, totte. Yobimasu, yonde. Nomimasu, nonde. Shinimasu, shinde. Kakimasu, kaite. Isugimasu, isoide. And hanashimasu, hanashite. And special here is ikimasu becomes ite. Okay? So that is how you conjugate the group 1. Okay? So it's very important that you memorize how to conjugate this one. Okay? Now let's proceed to the next groups. The group 2, group 2 special, and group 3. Okay? So to make this group as a tab form, so you just simply omit the mas and then you add te. Okay? So just like the example in group 2 here that ends with a and line. Okay? So for example, the word oshemasu. Oshemasu. So you omit the mas, you add te. Okay, so that makes the oshemasu becomes oshete. Oshete. Next is misemasu. Misemasu becomes misite. Okay. Next is misemasu. Okay, misimasu becomes misete. Okay, misete. Next, it's group 2 special, just the same, you omit mas, you add te. So, mimas becomes mite. Karimas becomes karite. Okay, next is the group 3. Okay, so you omit mas, you just add te. So, shimas means shite. Kimas means kitte. And shigoto shimasu means shigoto shite. Okay? Now let's review from the top. Oshete, misete, mite, karite, shite, kite, and shigoto shite. Okay, so that is how you conjugate the group 2 special, and group 3. So you just omit the mas and add te. Okay, so in conjugating this te form, so the group 2 and 3 is just very simple. You just need to memorize which the verb belongs in. Okay, so you must just very careful of the verb, especially the special, and which group it is belong to know how to conjugate it in te form. Okay? Next is the verb te kudasai. So this is our first sentence pattern using this te form. Okay? So verb te kudasai. This sentence pattern means please do verb. Okay. So this sentence pattern, please do verb, means pakiusap gawin mo ang isang verb. And this sentence pattern is used to ask, instruct, or encourage the listener to do something. Okay? So, ginagamit ang sentence pattern na ito pag mag-a-ask ka ng favor na gawin ang isang verb, mag-uutos ka, or to instruct someone, giving an instruction, and to encourage someone to do something. Okay? Naturally, if the listener is one's superior, this expression cannot be used for giving instruction to her or him. So, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin si verb te form kudasai if it's your superior. Okay? So, the sentences as shown below are example of asking, instructing, and encouraging respectively. Okay? So, although ginagamit mo siya para magbigay ng instructions or to encourage someone, you're asking him or her a favor to do something, but you cannot use it to your superior. Okay? Okay, so just like an example here. Excuse me, please teach me how to read this kanji. Sumimasen ga, kono kanji no yomekata wo oshete kudasai. Sumimasen ga, この漢字の読み方を教えてください. Said, sorry, but I also don't know that kanji. すみません、私もこの漢字がわかりません。すみません、私もこの漢字がわかりません. Okay? So, here in the first example, すみませんが、この漢字の読み方を教えてください. So, 教えて means teach. So, please teach me how to read this kanji. Okay? So, ganyan mo ginagamit si te kudasai in asking a favor to someone. Next. Excuse me, Mr. Mark, but can you please lend me a little money? Marco-san, すみませんが、細かいお金を貸してください. Again, Marco-san, すみませんが、細かいお金を貸してください. And he answered, yes, sure. How much do you want? Yes, sure. How much do you want? はい、いいですよ。いくらが欲しいですか? はい、いいですよ。いくらが欲しいですか? Okay? So, pwede mo din siyang itanong for asking, just like this one. Okay, another one. Okay, everyone, please memorize kanji this evening. Everyone, please memorize kanji this evening. So this is giving an instruction to student. Yes, we got it. So that would be teacher. Minasan, konban, kanji o oboite kudasai. Minasan, konban, kanji o oboite kudasai. And gakusei wa, hai, wakarimashita. Hai, wakarimashita. Okay, so ganito mo lang gagamitin to give an instruction to your student, for example. Okay? Another. Please take care, Maria-chan. Maria-chan, kiyotsukete kudasai. Thank you, everyone. Minna, arigato ne. Minna, arigato ne. Okay, again. Maria-chan, kiyotsukete kudasai. Minna, arigato ne. So that is how you use the verb te kudasai. You can use it for asking, for instructing, and for encouraging someone to do something. Okay? When it is used to ask the listener to do something, sumimasen ga is often added before verb te form kudasai. Okay? So as you can notice in our examples, meron siya mga sumimasen ga. Okay? So this expression is more polite than only saying a verb te form kudasai. Okay? Okay, so ina-attach si sumimasen ga to the verb te form kudasai to make it more polite. Okay? Okay, next sentence pattern is verb te form emas. Okay, so this is our second sentence pattern using the verb te form. Okay, when you use this sentence pattern, this indicates that a certain action or motion is in progress. So when you use this simply means that you are currently doing something. Okay, yung ginagawa mo ang isang verb ngayon. So in English, that would be you are currently doing verb or the verb ing. Okay? For example, here, Mr. Miller is driving a car now. Mr. Miller is driving a car now. Mira-san wa ima kuruma o unten shite imasu. Again, Mira-san wa ima, now, kuruma o unten shite imasu. Okay, when you say unten shite imasu, that would be driving. Okay? Unten is drive, unten shite is to drive, and unten shite imasu is driving. Okay? So again, let's read the example. Mr. Miller is driving a car now. Mira-san wa ima kuruma o unten shite imasu. Okay, next. What are you doing now? Ima nani o shite imasu ka? Ima nani o shite imasu ka? He answered, I'm studying Japanese now. Ima, Nihongo o benkyou shite imasu. Ima, Nihongo o benkyou shite imasu. Okay, as you can see, our interrogative is nani. Nani o shite imasu ka means what are you doing? And then, when say, since it is currently doing, so benkyou shimasu becomes benkyou shite imasu. Okay? Next example is it raining now? Ima, ame ga fute imasu ka? Ima, ame ga fute imasu ka? You can answer, yes, it's raining. So that would be, hai, fute imasu. Or, no, it's not raining. Ie, fute imasen. Ie, fute imasen. Okay, so as you can see, for the yes, or for the affirmative side, yes, hai, fute imasu. Okay? And for the negative, so you will say, ie, fute imasen. Okay, so you just change the imas to imasen to make the sentence negative. Okay? So, this to make the sentence negative. Okay, so that is how you gonna. Okay, so yan yung kung paano mo sasabihin na you are currently. Okay, so now you already know how to express yourself. Now you are already know how to say that you are currently doing the verb. Okay? Next sentence pattern is verb stem mashoka. Okay, verb stem mashoka. This expression is used when the speaker is offering to do something for the listener. So this is simply means as, shall I do verb? Okay, so ginagamit mo ang sentence pattern nito to ask or to offer na gagawin mo ang isang verb. Okay, so here's an example for that. Shall I come tomorrow also? Pupunta din ba ako bukas? Ashita mo kimashou ka? Yes, please come at 10 o'clock. 10時に来てください。10時に来てください。So, in this example, we demonstrate how to ask politely or instruct someone to do something by using our verb te kudasai. Okay? Another. Shall I lend you a pencil? Gusto mo bang pahiramin kita ng lapis? Impetsu kashimashou ka? Impetsu kashimashou ka? Sumimasen, onegai shimasu. So in please, or that means yes, please, sorry. So in this example, we accept an offer with gratitude. Okay? So in-accept na listener mo yung offer mo with gratitude. Okay? Next example is, shall I carry your luggage? And Nimotsu o mochimashou ka? Nimotsu o mochimashou ka? And no, it's okay. No, it's okay. Ie kekkou desu. Ie kekkou desu. So, in this example, we decline an offer politely. So, when using kekkou desu, that means no, it's okay. So, it means that dinedecline mo yung offer niya in a polite way. Okay? Ganyan mo lang gagamitin si verb mashou ka. Okay? So, you use it when you are offering someone that you will do something for her. Okay? So, next sentence pattern is sentence 1 ga, sentence 2. Okay? You learned the conjugative particle ga in the lesson 8 as we discussed in these expressions such as shicharei desu ga or sumimasen ga, okay, which are used as introductory remarks when speaking to someone ga. Okay, listing its original meaning, it is used to connect sentences lightly, just like an example here. Excuse me, but what's your name? Shitsurei desu ga, onamai wa? Shitsurei desu ga, onamai wa? I'm Mark. Nice to meet you. Maku desu. Yoroshiku. Maku desu. Yoroshiku. Okay? You use shitsurei desu. Shitsurei desu ka. Okay? So this is just in a casual conversation. Another. Excuse me, but please take me a picture. Sumimasen ga. I said a while ago, sumimasen ga. Also a touch before te kudasai to make it more polite. Okay? Next sentence pattern is noun ga verb. Okay? So when describing a natural phenomenon, the subject indicated by ga. Okay? Kung yung mga nangyayaring verb is through nature, ginagamit natin si particle ga. For example, It's raining. Okay, it's raining. Since rain is a natural phenomenon, so that would be ame ga futte imasu. Ame ga futte imasu. Okay, ame is rain. Futte imasu is the verb for yung umuulan. Okay? Next. There was an earthquake last night. There was an earthquake last night. There was an earthquake last night. So earthquake in Japanese is jishin. So this sentence is Kino no bang jishin ga arimashita. Kino no bang jishin ga arimashita. Okay, next, another. It will snow tomorrow. It will snow tomorrow. Ashita yuki ga furimasu. Ashita yuki ga furimasu. Okay? So yuki is snow. And just like rain, it's also having pouring. Okay? So that would be furimasu. Okay. And last one is typhoons. Typhoons don't come much in Davao. Typhoons don't come much in Davao. Davao ni wa taifu ga amari kimasen. Davao ni wa taifu ga amari kimasen. Okay, so just like how with that, so kung ano yung natural phenomenon, ipa-particle mo, ga mo lang siya. And it's depend kung anong verb niya. Okay? All of them, as I said, all of the natural phenomenon would be always particle ga. So, fixed na yan. Pag may jishin, ga. Pag may ame, ga. Pag may typhoon, ga. Okay? And that's the end for our lesson 14. So, I hope you learn another new form of grammar in this lesson, and please practice, especially the verb te form. Okay? So see you again next time in Zasang, and